Okay, we got to go live.
Just remember, Nick, Confucius says it's better to screw up than screw down. You do less
That's
work
true.
that way.
That is true.
And now Chris can have a laugh while he's editing. Hello, welcome to the Reloading Podcast here on the Firearms Radio Network, presented by Patriot Patch Company and For Patriots. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good. Doing good.
My wife told me I had to get the M&Ms out of there, so I did.
Oh.
I'm just counting the days is all I'm doing. Counting the days till I'm in the house.
There you go. Get it on.
We are below a month. So
nice.
Hopefully 2 weeks. So
then the work starts.
Yeah, then the work starts.
I'm just seeing the amount of crap that I have on my desk like this.
Oh man. Yep.
It's not full.
Those are still cool though. You don't see those all the time.
No. I'm pretty sure these are all reloads. Although I don't know, they could be original. Some of them could be original.
What color is the bullet?
There's two.
Okay.
They're about split. So.
The steel case is probably original, being that it originally was steel cased.
And it says EC for head stamp, and the other one says WCC.
Yeah, so the EC was Edwardsville cartridge.
Yeah.
So, somewhere around here, I got the long, skinny 20-round box, too.
Mm-hmm.
Or cardboard. So, I don't know where it went. How's everybody doing? Good?
Yeah.
Bad? Indifferent?
Doing good.
Doing good. Awesome. I gave up. I had to not go to the range today.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I went to Iowa. So I got something I can't find in Wisconsin.
Uh-oh. Hard Mountain Dew again.
Yep. So tasty. So tasty. Anyway, good thing I don't have any claymores. Because I just heard a chunk. Honey, we need to leave now. Oh, good grief. Anyway, so what's everybody about to? Yes, Hard Mountain Dew. This is Baja Blast. They have original. They have black cherry and watermelon. So last I knew, you could only get it in 3 states: Florida, Tennessee, and idiots out wandering around land.
So I find interesting why only 3 states.
There might be more by now, but I don't know. Let me look quick.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you, Nick. I got the new computer, so we got it's MSI.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's about yay big.
Yeah, I'll be getting one of those here when I get in the house. That's what's going to be down at the what I will call the command center, where I'll do all my videos from, all the podcasts from. Then I'll have my bench there, and then of course, whenever I do start my channel back up, I'll have my video studio there. So
yeah, it's pretty nice. Ran into a few difficulties getting it hooked up, but not too bad.
What the hell? Sorry, I got the answer back from Mountain Dew. So, anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt your conversation.
No, go ahead.
So, Iowa, Tennessee, Florida, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Minnesota, Virginia, Las Vegas, Ohio, Illinois, Arizona, Kentucky, and Connecticut.
Find it interesting it's in Illinois.
Well, I think the reason they can't put it in Wisconsin is because they wouldn't be able to have enough for any other state. Have you guys seen that map that's been floating around for a while?
I think I have.
So, I want to say it was University of Chicago or somebody did a survey of over drinking by county, or excessive, I should say.
Wow.
So, I guess it was actually done by University of Wisconsin Population Health Institute.
And
but the map is courtesy of Nicholas Pearson, University of Chicago. Data courtesy of County Health Rankings by the University of Wisconsin. So I'll share this with you here. So, oops.
You can probably just click on the map and it might have put it bigger.
No, it's not there. So,
Let's say over 24. Oh, jeez. It's the whole, basically the whole state. It is
okay.
the whole
state.
So if you notice, Wisconsin is dark.
Yeah.
Except for that one little white spot.
Yeah. Well, that's the
lake.
That's Lake Winnebago.
That's Lake Winnebago, yeah.
So, as I've been trying to tell people, yeah, we're professionals up here. So I was sitting there talking. We were sitting there Friday night after the range. It was Jeremy Derek, and Nick, and then a couple other people from a couple other. I don't know where they were from. They never really introduced themselves. But we're sitting there, and I've been trying to tell Jeremy for years that we're professionals up here. Jeremy can drink like a fish. Jeremy drinks like I used to be able to when I was young, before I grew up and realized there wasn't any point to getting just absolute blasted. So I showed him this map, and he goes, "Holy sh!" So, and of course, you'll notice that Utah's white.
Yeah,
really white. So GGW said, "Hey, wait a minute, my county's dark blue. Congratulations. My entire state's dark blue, and it's the only one."
I'm shocked how well Oklahoma's pretty white. So is Alabama and Mississippi. I'm kind of shocked on those.
Right?
That kind of shocks me, especially Alabama and Mississippi.
But yeah, so I thought that was hilarious.
Jeez. I'm shocked how much Iowa is too, but they drink a lot of Busch Light. So
yeah, they drink a lot of Busch lattes. So anyway. So yeah, we were sitting there and talking about that. But yeah. So I don't know why we can't get this in Wisconsin. So every time I bebop down to Iowa, I grab a couple. They're actually really good. It kind of tastes like, honestly, what it tastes like is it tastes like you threw some rot gut vodka in with the regular soda.
Can't even throw some Absolute in, huh?
No, it's Fleischmann's. So, yeah, no, there's no Grey Goose or Ciroc or Tito's in there. It's Fleischmann's, because you get that little burn flavor with it that you don't get with the good vodkas.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I'd be curious. GGW Outdoors. I'd be curious to see that map during college football season. No, it's a year-round thing. So, Bama Dad said, "Hey, it's the Bible Belt here. We probably still have more drying counties than most states," which is true. That's why Tennessee is a lot white. Because, in case you didn't know, the county that Lynchburg, Tennessee, is in
is dry.
Is dry.
Yeah.
So every year, the distillery. If you don't know which distillery I am talking about, you need to fix yourself. But the distillery has to apply for a permit to test the whiskey. So, luckily, the distillery kicks back enough to the county that there's never an issue. But they have threatened that if it doesn't happen, they will be moving. So, and that is the jobs for a lot of people. I think one of the things that really keeps it threatened, though, is because they've threatened to move across the state line. And so the state puts a lot of pressure on the county, I'm sure. So,
well, yeah.
Anyway,
I can see that happening.
Yep. Because that's they get some of that alcohol revenue.
Yeah.
So, this is where I was.
Yeah, Brownells.
That's right.
GunCon.
Yeah, it was GunCon 2023. Unfortunately, Facebook is a bunch of haters, so I had to change the title to GC because I put GunCon and they flagged it because guns are evil. Up yours, Zuckerberg.
So anybody that was sitting there thinking it was about gun control 2023, it's not.
No.
Okay.
So, I have a Swamp Fox hat that I'll be giving out to a listener. I don't know who yet. I don't know when, but we'll give her out. So we're going to have Lehigh Defense on the program.
Oh, okay.
Because they're selling projectiles now.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought they were still just selling loaded ammunition. So Lehigh Defense was there with Wilson Combat. So the only thing on the table that I could afford, bushing wrench. Actually, it was free. So, but yeah, Wilson Combat makes some really, 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 really nice stuff. Frankfurt Arsenal or Frankfurt. Anyway, I'll just hold the shirt up.
Frankfurt Arsenal, yes.
They were there.
Hope. Yeah.
So this shirt's getting given away. Again, to be determined later on how. So yes, Wilson owns Lehigh. So they were on the same table. So Yankee Hill Machine was there. They were kind enough to let me shoot one of their ARs on Friday at the 500-yard range.
With a can?
Yes.
Their Turbo K, which is probably what I'll get when I get a can.
Paul wouldn't have liked the cartridge, but that's okay.
Oh, 6.5 needs more?
Yep. I found out it's really hard to shoot off of a tripod if you've never done it before. But I did hit 1 out of 5 shots at 500 yards. And I'm pretty sure that the optic was dialed up to max magnification.
So you're sitting there going, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I was doing the Call of Duty thing.
Okay.
I actually, the first shot I missed, the second shot I hit, third shot I missed, and then the fourth and fifth I just said, screw it. And popped it off twice. So Frankfurt Arsenal gave me some stickers to give away too. So I have about 5 to give away. And then Amend 2 had limited edition patches.
Nice.
And a couple of vinyl stickers. So I'm keeping a patch and a sticker for myself, and then I'm going to give the others away. So, but yeah, so Lehigh Defense is going to come on. I don't know where the other business cards went.
Yeah, they make
Anyway.
some nice 135 grain 9mm bullets.
Yeah, they make
Plus,
some nice 135. They make some nice ammo too.
yeah. Plus, they make a lot of nice full copper bullets for your rifle.
Yep. So, and they said that it's actually been taken off a lot. So, Remington was there. I got to shoot the 360 Buckhammer. Yes, suck it. And then they had this cool little poster made up. So I thought it was neat.
Yeah.
And then on the backside, for those of you who are 700, Remington fans, 7,400, 7,600, and 700. So breakdowns. I don't know, but so yeah, talk to Remington. They've got some potentially some exciting stuff coming up the next year that they're working on, but they can't talk about. So I also shot the High Point 10mm pistol, which was actually really nice to shoot.
How many times did it jam on you?
None.
Wow.
20 rounds, 2 magazines, rapid fire, no jamming. So the thing with high points and Kimbers have something in common. They either shoot flawlessly or they're a jam-o-matic. The difference is high point, all you got to do is call them up and say, hey, my firearm doesn't feed properly with blah, 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 blah. And they said, send it in, we'll fix it. Kimber says there's nothing wrong with our firearm, blah, 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 try a different type of ammo, and makes you jump through hoops.
Guess which one costs more?
Kimber. So basically most of us at the store will not sell Kimbers. And if somebody absolutely wants a Kimber, then we tell them, before you do anything else with this, you need to take it out to the range and run 500 rounds through it.
And don't come back to us until you got 500 rounds through it. Yeah.
Yeah. If you have any issues with it, then get a hold of Kimber right away. So there was quite a few silencer or suppressor companies there. Silencer, suppressor, whoever you want to. Oh, cracky.
Anything new in reloading equipment?
I think I posted the video, but Frankfurt had the FX10 there.
Okay.
And their single stage. Nick, good news. The single stage, he said, is going to be coming to Expert Voice soon.
I'm not on anymore. Don't matter. So, been not working from home anymore. But no, they were actually in the Shields here. That was in there over the weekend, and they had the FX10 and the F1 press, which I was surprised to see that. So.
Yeah. So as soon as the F1 hits the
main market,
Expert Voice, I'll be buying one. So they had the tumbler, the fat, or the fart, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They had that out. They had the prep station, the horizontal one, not the vertical one. They had the primer. So, Paul, here's something, and I don't think any of us realize this. I don't know if any of us actually have it. I've played with it before, but I never realized it. On that hand primer from Frankfurt Arsenal, you can actually literally set your priming depth.
Sure can. You get old like me, and you go like this, and it goes, ow, ow.
Yeah, I didn't realize that had that feature.
Yeah, it does.
So,
and that's why the Frankfurt Arsenal at least their hand press, out of all hand presses, has probably become my favorite to tell a new reloader, because the price is not over expensive. It's made out of good quality parts, unlike the Lyman we had break within 2 years.
I'm not really impressed with the Lyman or the Hornady. Or the RCBS for that matter.
Like you said, you can eventually set your seating depth on your primer.
Excuse me.
For the price, you're not going to get that 90% of the time.
Well, the only way you can get that is you go with the RCBS and a $250 upgrade.
Add-on. Exactly.
So or you spend the $700 at Primal Rights.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Which way do you want to go?
Yeah, but especially for the new reloader that's wanting to get in, say they're shooting, like I had talked to a guy this weekend. He's shooting 6.5 Creedmoor and he's getting into 6mm arc. That's and so you don't have to go out and spend $700 like you said. What's that hand primer cost? Under $100 probably.
It's under 100. I think it's about $80 or so.
That's a no-brainer if you want to play with your seating depth of your primer.
So. Right, as long as you got the hand strength to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's the biggest key.
That's the biggest thing. I mean, if you don't have arthritis and you can play with it, it's not it's not a problem. The only thing I don't like about it is that it takes a shell holder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I had my way, I would do it the way RCBS did it with their adjustable jaws on their shell holder, which grips the case a little bit tighter.
Fair enough.
So and then every RCBS one that's out there has got short seating pins.
Mm-hmm.
You got to call them up and you got to ask for longer pins, and they will send them to you, but it's a pain in the ass having to call them up and do something like that. So, and the same thing that happens with Hornady and everybody else. Hornady's just a pain in the ass. They want you to use their shell holder to do it, because an RCBS one won't work, or will a Lyman or a Redding. So it's just dumb. And but yeah, Frankfurt Arsenal, buy it. I don't see anything wrong with them. So, but yeah, they're coming out with good presses now, and their 10X is an affordable machine for high volume loading. What more do you want?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of night vision companies, thermal companies there that were both nice. I'm looking up to try and find the sponsor list from.
I'm assuming Silencer Central is there probably again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been at the last 2 gun shows here, and I've talked to them, and I'm still debating if I'm going to go with them or who I'm going to go with, especially because once you buy one of those suppressors, they automatically will create a trust for you.
Yep.
And that's kind of what I'm thinking. If I can do that way and then throw my...
And they don't charge you for the trust.
Exactly. And if I can throw my NFAs on the trust, it's a no-brainer. And that's why I need to...
You do that, though, and then you get hit with a $200 transfer tax for the NFA items.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. And that's what I'm debating.
That's a no-go. Don't do that. If you already got it set with that, don't if you got it on your FFL, which you do, don't go changing it and putting it into a trust and having to pay another $200 more on it. Just put your stuff in a new FFL so you don't have a problem. I mean, under the trust for your silencers, do it that way and just keep it clean. Otherwise, you open a whole can of worms up when they start doing all that other kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I got the list of all the sponsors, and they were also they're demonstrating various things. So the main sponsors were MGS Trade School, obviously Brownells, and then we've got Samson, Henry, Blackout Coffee, not Blackout or not Black Rifle, Blackout. Bowers Group, Neomag, H&K was there with a table. Kinetic Development Group was there. Remington was there with the 360 Buckhammer. That is a nice shooting. A little less kick than a 30-30. So, but very nice. Those Henrys functioned very well with them. So, they literally just let me stand there and pump rounds through this Henry until it got warm. So, whether I was just aim single shot, or if I was I'd put a few in and then do the rapid fire. It was almost as nice as shooting my grandpa's Winchester 94.
Nice.
So, and the Winchester 94 was made in 49, so it's one of the better ones. So yeah. So Matador Arms was there showing off their Mat 9 and their new lower, which is coming out, and also their new full length upper. They're going to have a 16-inch 9mm upper to go along with their shorter one. Timney was there. Amend 2 was there. Frankfurt Arsenal was there. Stag Arms was there. MTAC was there. Yankee Hill. Siege suppressors. POF USA was there. AAC suppressors. Canic was there. I fired their new competition gun and the Meta 9. Both, just if you've shot a Canic, you know what a Canic's all about. And both of those were just amazing. So, Dillon Rifle Company was there. They had a 50 and a 308. Unfortunately, there was always a line, so I never got to shoot either of those. Gideon Optics is a new company. They do a lot of your typical type red dot stuff. But here's the catch: I have astigmatism. My glasses do not have a prescription to combat that currently. My new prescription does. I just haven't gotten around to getting off my carcass and gotten it made. All of their optics I looked through were really clear compared to most of them. And keep in mind, my Canic has a Vortex on it, and not the Crossfire. It's got the Viper, the Venom, whatever it is. But so I was actually pretty impressed with their quality stuff. So Lockdown was there. Lockdowns, they started out making gun locks and stuff. They now make a whole wall setup. John Patton actually had them come in and do his whole studio. He's got 3 walls in his studio that are all set up now with Lockdown stuff. He hasn't revealed that yet. It's going to be, I think he said late August or late July, early August.
Are they still doing that door, the vault door that they were doing?
I think so.
I haven't seen on their website. So, because it's the cool part about it, it's a basically a black steel door, vault door, but that's got a digital black face keypad, and the handle kind of submerges itself into the door. So I just haven't seen anything about it. I might have to call them up, see.
Medical Gear Outfitters had some stuff there. They were doing some training. Creative Arms was there. They're more another newer AR platform style. Streamlight was there. I already mentioned High Point. LMT Defense was there. Radian was there. Stuff and Things. So I don't know if I posted this or not, but they have the world's dumbest SBR. It's a Heritage. It looks like it's a Heritage. I never actually confirmed, but it looks like it's a Heritage with the rifle stock and a can. And it's a big ass can. I'll show it in just a second. Unaka gear was there. Vertex gear was there. Tandem Cross and Volquartsen. Otis was there. Oracle Arms was there. Infraray Outdoors was there. So RSX was the other night vision. And Friday night, this guy was smart enough to bring his outside so we could play with him. Nick Dooley, who is host of the Air 15 podcast, just got back from 6 months down on the southern border. He's in the Guard, so he got called up to go play down there. He was looking through the monocular that they brought out, and he said the quality was pretty damn comparable to what he was using. on active duty. They also had a really nice scope. And then where was it? Who was the other one? I said. Infrared had theirs there too. They didn't bring them out to let us play with them at night, but the next day they did. Theirs, and I don't know about the other company if this does it or not. It's just the one we were looking at on Friday night was typical green. Actual on a, and then they had a thermal, which was black and white. And then Infrared had one that I was looking through inside on Saturday, and you could actually flip it from white hot to black hot. That's goofy looking. So I didn't fire any Volquartsen. I fired one tandem cross. Stuff and things. The other thing that they have that's cool, and this is for us poors, is they have something that's called the shocker. So what this is anybody who's paintballed has an idea. If you've shot a fancier paintball gun where it's got the rocker, that's what this is. But here's the fun part about this. You literally pull out your pin for your lower trigger guard. You pull your trigger guard out. This slides right in over the trigger, and you can either pull the bottom the whole time, pull the top the whole time, or rock back and forth. And it really does not take much brain power to go rocking back and forth. So, yeah, Bama Dad, a seesaw trigger. Yeah, I went through a 25 round 1022 mag really quick. So,
that sounds fun.
Yes, Ed. Yes. Anyway, how
long before the ATF says that's a machine gun? That's the question.
That is the question. But they're only $100. But the existing trigger stays in. The existing trigger stays in place. This just is added onto the trigger. So. Sorry, wife just texted me, asked if I could talk to my kid. Anyway, okay. Yeah, it's kind of like a trigger shoe. So, yeah, I mean, lots of cool things. Nice thing about being the media, going to have fun with some of the toys on Friday. I also shot the new High Point, and I was actually pretty impressed. It's been a long time coming. So it's still not officially released yet. They're looking end of July. But I think people will be pleasantly surprised. So, speaking of High Point, I also shot the carbine in 30 Super. So, no recoil whatsoever. It was like shooting a 22. So, trying to think if there's anything else. There was a smart gun company there. I don't remember the name of it. But I know Matt from Geeks, Gadgets, and Guns was talking to him quite a bit.
Just what we need.
So here's the thing. It's not going to be for all of us, but because I said that same thing to Matt, and I am like, well, that's kind of yada 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 blah blah type things. But the thing is with it is it's more for like parents with kids.
Okay.
So like like I said, he's going to cover it and he's going to go over it and stuff. So if you want to know more, check out Geeks, Gadgets, and Guns. It's going to be a case of it's a work in progress, but it's not like some of the ones that have previously been mentioned, where it's always connected like an Internet of Things thing. It's actually locked down and that type of thing. So
the company's BioFire, Mike.
Yeah, that's it. So thanks, Chris. Yeah, BioFire. So Matt was actually pretty impressed with it, all things considered. Like I said, I had no interest in it whatsoever. But Matt did make a good case for who could benefit from it. Especially if, say, you got to. So, example, they both have kids running around the house, but they want to have something that they can kind of conceal but not have locked up in a safe for quick recovery, or even more case scenario, single mother type thing. So it should never become any sort of mandatory ever. But I can see the reason for having an option.
We'll agree with the option. Okay. But the problem is that there's too many people out there that's going to sit there and demand that us as a group of people sit down and politically say that we have to use this now because it's accepted.
Right.
And, I'm sorry, but you're going to do that to my circular saw?
Right. Or your table saw?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, absolutely. So we're all on the same page on that it never can become mandatory in any way, shape, or form. So,
but
yeah, that's kind of the gist of what went on. The panels were good, lots of good questions. So
did you get up there and ask any?
No. Okay. No, I was going to ask a smart aleck one to Sean, but
they didn't invite you to be on the panel.
I don't want to be on a panel. Nobody wants to be on a panel. No. When you look at when you go to the Gun Collective's YouTube page and watch the panels, yeah, no reason for me to be on those panels. So, yeah, that kind of covers that. The other thing I was going to cover is this scale, but I think we're going to table that because it looks like my kid got his bike stolen. So, you guys talk about something. I am going to go talk to him, and I'll be back.
All right.
So.
Okay, no dead air. Okay, guys. Ray, how you been?
Good. Been busy last few weeks. Between work and a little bit of traveling and family in town this week and more traveling next week. Went to the range today. Got my nephew in town. First time shooter. Took him to the range today, and we shot probably about 300 or 400 rounds at 22 down range, and he picked it up real well. And all the shots were on target.
Nice.
Had a good time. May even go back out tomorrow.
Okay, rub it in. Yeah, rub it in.
Chris?
Busy between day job, obviously working. Mike was mentioning Canic, so I actually was Cerakoting a pistol on one of the new Mete 9s. Got it in that color. It is now a red and black because she didn't like tan and black, so she's like, I might know a guy that can make it any color I want, so get me in whatever you can. And I was like, Roger that.
Oh, nice.
Did some shooting. Shot some 22 this weekend. And of course, doing projects around the house because that's never ending with the remodel.
So how's that? Are you getting down to the end of the honeydews?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. Okay.
We still got, I finally finished up all the trim minus the laundry room and what's currently the reloading room, and it's going to become her pantry because I'm moving everything upstairs. So I'm also trying to finish the few benches up there that I've started a year ago, but they're just basically need to finish staining and epoxy. And then do the trim up there and then relocate all this up there because I've outgrown this space.
Yeah, it looks that way. Yeah.
And I was telling Mike, I didn't realize how much components I actually had pigeonholed in here until I started relocating. And I'm like, damn, I need to get out and shoot more.
Yeah, we do. We do.
I think that's a fact. I think that's fact. When you're not shooting, you're buying stuff.
Yeah. I just didn't realize how much I bought Ray over the time and just like, I don't remember having these. Huh. Also found two upper receivers for ARs. I didn't realize I had pigeonholed back there too. I was like, I got to build 2 more uppers.
There you go. So, yeah, I actually had to turn down a day at the range today because of the show. I wouldn't have gotten back in time for it. So, I put together 150 rounds of test loads for a 77 grain 223, and I got. And this is where I'm going to get mad at you, Chris, because 3 barrels are coming in next week. Okay.
I'll be honest with you, even if I had my lathe, I don't know if I'd have the time to spin a barrel right now.
Yeah, well, like I say, I got 3 barrels to spin up, and we're waiting to see what happens there. So, but finally, everything is starting to come in, and new trigger for my 1022, the build that's I've been working on, and yeah, we got things coming along.
I don't know if, as far as components and reloading, I don't know if everybody saw Starline came out with 6 arc brass, and within 2 hours they completely sold out.
Mm-hmm.
And then 8.6 Blackout is actually semi-spec now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I haven't seen that on Sammy's website.
It's actually semi-spec now. That I know I was kind of impressed with that when we shot it at SHOT. I was like, but I was hesitant because not being semi-spec, it's like, okay, where are you going to find brass? Where are you going to do this? Now that semi-spec, we'll see if it starts.
Well, it's still going to take a while for the brass to come out. Yeah.
At least being semi-spec, it'll be a little bit more supportive than just being a wildcat.
Who's cutting barrels for it yet?
All I know right now is just Faxon.
Okay.
I'm sure there'll be others, but Faxon's been doing that because they partnered with Q from the get-go when they designed that.
So we're sitting there looking at just Faxon for barrels. We're not looking at any cut rifled barrels or anything like that. So because Faxon are button rifled. So,
and I'm sure if whether it's Bartlett or you pick one of the premium companies, if you wanted one, you could probably call them up and say, hey, I need a A6 Blackout for bolt or even AR, and they'll spin it up for a price.
I don't know, 1 and 3 twist, right? If I remember right.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, but I started looking. They've got load data out there for subsonic 285. I was like,
There we go. So, yeah, we got a lot of small rifle primers are in stock. Small pistol primers are hitting the market. I'm just looking at the chat here, and
yeah, Shields had a ton of primers. They had both large pistol and small pistol, and a ton of large or small rifle. No large rifle, which is what I need, but
Yeah, even here in town, finding primers ain't the problem. It's just if you're willing to pay that price.
yeah, I saw large rifle primers for 150, 1,000. Okay, so, but then again, pistol primers are getting into the $60 a thousand range.
yeah,
And
I think you get those settled out, like you said, at hopefully $60, $50 a thousand. I'm hoping large rifle and small rifle would be right behind that, kind of start to decrease the price, but it's hard to say.
mm-hmm. I think really once they're starting to get the pipeline back into shape now. It's so we're going to probably start seeing primers loosen up and get down to and they're not going to be at the $30 a case, a thousand. They're going to be in the $50 to $60 range. I'm thinking, because they've brought in primers from overseas and from South America, so gonna be that way. I think we're gonna look at a normal primer price of about 6 cents a piece.
Which I'll still pay that. That doesn't bother me.
Still, yeah. But it's not the penny or 2 or 3 cents a piece that we were used to.
No.
So it's when you start hitting that 15 cents a piece, you're getting a little rough there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's like what I got at the gun show a couple weeks ago. This stuff here, I picked up this 348 Winchester brass. I don't shoot 348 Winchester, but I'm going to be using it for conversions for cartridges down the road. When it goes for $3 a piece all over the internet, when you can find it, I got this under $1.50. It was a no-brainer, but I don't want to go be putting 15 cents per primer and then say 25, 30 cents for powder plus your bullet. It's just then it really adds up.
Well, that's the thing that we're going to have to see what happens with the bullets on what we do. Of course, Chris, you said that powder manufacturers are sitting there telling us we're going to have a 15% increase in prices.
Yeah, there was some that 15, few distributors or a few companies, they said it's going to be maybe up to 20% increase. So you're going to see some stuff come down, but obviously other components are going to go up. And I don't know if that's because of demand, maybe military contracts playing a factor into that. Because obviously that's big money for any manufacturer, whether it's bullets, barrels, powder. If they can land a government contract somewhere, I can't say that I blame them. If I was big enough and I could land a government contract, I love y'all, but that's the cash cow. Let's be honest.
Well, look at Lapua. I mean, they sat down and said we don't sell enough of the 22-250 or whatever, and they
6 Creed they cut out, which was surprisingly.
And they just said wiped out a whole bunch of cartridges and said nope, we ain't going to make these anymore for now while we have this demand in Europe for brass, and that's what they're fulfilling military contracts. And so okay, we can understand that so brass is still expensive, and I do not see the smaller mom and pop stores that are selling brass at 9mm used to buy for $20 a thousand, 45s for $50 a thousand. You're not seeing that right now as far as pistol brass Rifle brass, there's always 223 rifle brass around and 308. But the small mom and pops that used to sell 100 of this, 100 of that, and use brass, not there. The big names, Winchester, Federal, and Remington, are, I don't know. I haven't seen any of that brass around for a long time. And then, we got bullets. Bullets have gotten very expensive. And Nosler seems to be leading the charge in this in this run, and I don't understand that, but okay. Nosler, custom competition, environment bullets are have just gone through the roof, and it seems that Spear is the one that is still cheap as far as that goes. You can buy Spear bullets at reasonable prices now, still. We just as we look at all the stuff that's going on in our reloading world that we have, there's a lot of stuff that's coming down in price as far as reloading gear and everything else. There's still some stuff that's going to be expensive, but yeah, we've gone down in price and become affordable without. I'm not saying it's just Lee, but there are other companies now that are coming into the beginning reloading phase to help a new reloader.
Mike, I missed the beginning of the show. Where does at Brownells there? Where do they shoot?
At the range in Montezuma.
Oh, okay. So it's a different location. Okay.
Yeah.
They started out in Montezuma, didn't they?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought.
I'm thinking about going next year for sure, Dad. So being that we can get media, it's only 3 hours. So
I was out of town, and you just starting a new job. It was kind of tough.
Yep, but no, it's for sure next year. I might definitely be going, being that it's only a day to take. So we'll see how much I have by then.
Running with scissors. American Reloading has come out with non-blems now. They are selling as a factory load. I mean, as a new non-blem bullet. So you'll start seeing those coming out soon. Just to let you know.
They're not too far from me.
American. Yep.
Yeah, they're in Green Valley. I'll have to might visit them up sometime. I need to read. There's a company here in the Kansas City metro area that took the name Bannerman's Ammo or Bannerman Cartridge or something like that. That's loading right now 6.5 Japanese and 7.7 Jap. They're actually a little bit cheaper than Steinol and a couple of the other companies that are making that. So I'm trying to reach out to them, maybe to get them on or get in contact with them, but I'm having a hard time at the moment. But I think it'll be interesting to talk to them and see what made them start that. But.
Nice.
Running with scissors. Check with Creedmoor Sports. They've already started selling some of their non-blem bullets. So
nice. So I got the camera set up to show off this. So, Paul, do you remember who found it and posted it in the Discord?
I don't remember who did, but somebody had mentioned this Midway scale that they have, at a ridiculous price.
Yeah. It was. I want to say it was either Tom.
I think it was Tom from Louisville. I think.
Yep.
I'm 90% sure that's who it was on the Discord. And I've been debating on that same scale, so I'm interested to see how that works. Just as I have a backup.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's still the same price or not, Nick. You'll have to take a look, but
Even because I think normal price was only like $50.
yeah. Okay, so
into that.
it comes in a. I'm gonna do. Anyway, so the desk is kind of clear. So Paul, I didn't get the weight set yet, so
Okay.
not in the budget yet. So it comes in a plain brown box.
Uh-oh.
It's National Metallic. So here's the scale.
Nice looking scale.
Yeah. Spot for your check weight, batteries, or
Walwart.
And that's what I'm using. So
Okay.
comes with a dust cover, pan, and a 20-gram calibration weight. So, and then there's destructions in the bottom of the box, but who needs those? Right? All right. What fun is that? It's got 4 buttons. It can't be that hard to figure out, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway. So, got to make sure you peel off the protection. Otherwise, could throw off the scale. So, like I said, comes with a nice little dust cover that you can actually pour powder through. So, that's kind of nice. I was actually pretty impressed with that when I saw that. So,
Well, I like it because you can set a case in there and fill it with water and not have any air movement affected.
Yeah.
What did Midway have that scale for?
Oh, I want to say it was 20 or 25. Something like that.
Amazon's got it for 43 right now.
So,
well, even at 43, that's a heck of a price if it works really well.
Yep. So, dust makes the powder burn smoother. Come here. Earthquake. So, all right. Plug her in. I purposely did not set this up in advance because I wanted to do the unboxing. So
Okay. Nice digital LEDs. Okay.
Yeah, really nice readout. So you can change your unit, grain, gram, just the 2.
Okay.
So if you wanted carats, it's not a jewelry scale. You're sorry out of luck. So it's automatic. It's set for 0, so I can calibrate it. Hold down the calibration button like you normally would. Put your weight on there. Automatically zeros. Now for fun, I grabbed the 50 gram from my Frankfurt scale, and I'm going to grab a second one.
Okay.
Maximum of 100. So we know the scale does a maximum of 100 grams. So it's a nice little
powder pan. Yeah.
So go back to grains, 0 it out. And then we'll check it again just for fun. So that's pretty good. Pretty impressed so far. Paul, you're breathing into your microphone. So, Knox Spector said those National Metallic scales are actually really decent, especially for the money. I actually ordered back up. He said he's tested his for drift over several weeks and it's rock solid. So that's pretty good. Hey, Paul,
Yeah.
what do you think the chances of this actually being true is?
I don't think so, but you know, if he can prove that it's a forced magnetic resonance scale,
Yeah.
fine. But I think it's a load cell.
Yeah, which is what this one is. So
right. Yeah.
I need some powder.
There's a lot of 4064 there.
Yeah, I know. I just don't have. Oh, I just didn't have anything in reach. There we go. We got some 4350. So, what I'm gonna do is I've had my Intellidropper sitting there warming up for a bit. I don't care about throwing right now. What I care about is difference in accuracy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some powder in. $170.1. So now let's see what we get. 1/10 of a grain.
Okay. Reweigh the powder.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
First, I'm going to lift it up, set it back down. So 170 even again. And now we'll pour it back into 170.1. And now we're going to set up. So that is 150. I can't remember off the top of my head. Go away. So the one thing you usually run into with this scale is I usually have to put it on top of something because sitting like this, it's too low. Because when I actually put it back to 0, the pan hits. So we grab our trusty which is the perfect. And as you can see now, the pan hangs down below. But we'll shoot to straight 0. And as I bump the table, the Intellidropper goes from 170.0 to 170.1. But then it also flips back and forth between not stable and stable. So that light up there is an LED, and so is the one up above here. So now that's 50, 60, 70. I'm going to pour this here because I've tried to pour powder into a moving pan scale before, and it never works out well. Now, the problem with a dampening scale is you got to let it sit for a minute. But after you let it sit, it sure is hovering right around 0. So,
and that's without any warm up on your.
What do you think? Is it a 10th off, Paul?
It might be a 10th off. I mean, it's so close. Move it over 1. Give me a 10th.
I just did.
Okay.
Sorry, the camera keeps.
That's okay. We're good. It's I think you're on at it with that 10th on there.
Yeah. So the National Metallic scale might be a 10th off.
You haven't even let it sit there and warm up for 30 minutes.
Right.
I mean, you opened the package up, you took the plastic off of it,
and fired it up.
Fired it up, and if you're a 10th off, that's not bad for not having it warmed up.
Yep. So. Yeah. So this Ohaus scale, if you come across one, buy it. So they're just amazing. Or if you come across one of the original RCBS 1010s. So those were made by Ohaus, and they're just ridiculously accurate. So, but yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty impressive. Not even warm it up.
Yeah.
And I did let the Frankfurt warm up. That's been on since I hit go live. So. But.
Well, I like your 1010 because it's in a cover and it keeps dust from collecting in the on the bearings.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the thing is you got to remember to put the cover on it. So
yeah,
which I do. Oh, sorry, this is a 10.5.
Okay. Still, yeah, 10.5.
It's only 500.
Okay.
Grains. So, but yeah, I'd say I'm pleasantly surprised with it. Now, I will obviously do a lot more testing with it. So, and I'll play around and see how it does trickling. So, as soon as I moved it next to the, Frankfurt, it's now got
1.5, 1.4 grains. Okay.
Little electrical interference. So, but yeah, pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So
for the amount of money, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You know,
even $43. Oh, speaking of scales. Oh, good. Landlord's going to send video footage to the cops. So, anyway, so my kid got his motorcycle stolen out of his parking garage. So one of the I follow. Where is it? Reloading Primers. Is one of the channels that I follow on Instagram. And so I was talking about the Frankfurt Arsenal basic scale. It's the one in the picture here.
Okay.
And because Frankfurt Arsenal makes that same one for Cabela's and Bass Pro in the Range Max name, which means I get half off. And I asked him how he likes it, and he says so cool, and it's really pretty accurate. So, and it's accurate when he's trickling, which is what he's showing in the picture. So that's kind of an important thing. And like I said, with that scale I just got, we didn't check and see if it would trickle. But the one that I just showed, that Frankfurt Arsenal, is battery powered. So the fact that it accepts trickling is pretty impressive. Because more often than not, your battery operated scales won't do trickling. So
they don't stay on long enough. A lot of them have an automatic shut off.
Yep.
And they they just don't recognize it.
Yeah. So.
And I know Chris is interested in this because he's got his FX 120i over there, and he's sitting there going, "Okay."
Chris is just sitting over there going, "All right, when you get to the major league scales, let me know."
I've learned everything I know from Paul and Bench Addict. You guys have cost me, and Travis. We'll throw Travis in there too. Y'all have cost me money.
That's what we're here for.
If it didn't cost money, it wouldn't be reloading.
Right. Knox Spector said fluorescent bulbs and transformers can throw these scales off. Took me a while to learn about that with my Dillon scale. Most lights are LEDs now. The thing with fluorescent bulbs is all fluorescent bulbs have a giant power sucking transformer in them, and it creates an electronic, basically for all practical purposes, a magnetic field that affects scales and the way they operate. Russ, there's your little look at Gracie. Gracie, what you doing, baby? Did you go eat her food, you pig? Well, that's her fault because I put it down and I've been in here for 20 minutes. Come here, Gracie. Pig. Dang, Holly. Anyway. And so it creates interference with the scales. That's why ultimately incandescent, but if you're going for power savings, then LED. So LED, the transformers in them are better off. So if I owned the place, I'd have a 2 4-foot bulb fixture above my head. So I haven't figured out how to make one that isn't permanently mounted into the ceiling. So, but because I have a brand new in the box 4-foot fluorescent light fixture out in the garage, just waiting to get used. So, but yeah, there GGW said ballast is just a large magnetic field producer in a way. So yeah. So he said LED does generate heat, which is compared to the fluorescents, but they're still not as much as the incandescents. So, but anyway. So I'll do further testing with this scale and we'll see how it does. But anyway. Yeah, I want to say it was like $22 or something like that. I'd have to look back. But
Yeah, for a beginning reloader, just plinking that probably be a more than adequate scale.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. And it came quick too. Yeah, $22.49 is how much it cost when I got it. It's back up to $49.99, but it looks like it was a one-time run from Midway. But like Paul said, or like Ray said, they're on Amazon. So, but yeah, I was pretty impressed with it. So we'll have to warm it up and make sure I've got it on the other side of the desk from the Intellidropper and go from there.
Didn't you have an issue when you lined
Yeah,
up?
I had the Lyman number 6 and the Intellidropper literally right next to each other.
And you were getting.
Yeah,
they were fighting each other, huh?
Yeah, they were both all over the place. So, yeah, don't do that. So, yeah, so if you're going to use an electronic scale, no matter what, make sure you don't have other electronic stuff immediately in contact. I haven't noticed an issue with my computer monitor, and it's an iMac. So technically, it's an actual full computer. I haven't noticed any issues with that, and I didn't notice any monitor issues before. So that's good. But yeah, when you put the Lyman and the Intellidropper right next to each other, they definitely did not play well.
Paul, what kind of quality is that A&D EJ 1500?
The 1500?
Yeah.
Anything from A&D is good. Okay. But for reloading, the starting one is the EJ 123.
123.
All right, and they're about $350 or so right now. Spend $580 and you can go to the FX 120i, and then you're in a full what you would call a scientific balance. Right. Okay,
that goes that 3 places, I think.
It goes 2 places, only 2, which is all you need. If you're going to fight 3, that's just that's just too much. 2 places is fine, and it'll go to 2/100ths of a grain, which means you're weighing basically the individual kernel.
Yeah.
So, as I look at it on my FX 120i, say a powder like 8208, it's about 2 kernels to 2/100ths. So, that's what I look at, and 4895 is 1 kernel to 2/100ths of a grain, so somewhere in about that area. I mean, if you're looking at it, you got to sit down and say, okay, a pound is 7,000 grains, and you're sitting there weighing down to 2/100ths of a grain. So you're really getting right down to the brass tacks. But you'll get a more consistent weighing with the 120i for basically $350. About $250 more, give or take. And then if you want to go fully automatic with it, you can go to the auto trickler, which connects up to it. And what's the auto trickler now on there, Chris? 475, 480?
Oh, when I got mine, I know price went up after I reserved mine. I want to say it came to right around 9 150 complete with
complete
the scale
okay.
and the auto trickler.
Okay, so and I know the 120i is about 580 at CE Instruments.
And they did give me a military discount, which like knocked $20 off.
Yeah.
Which at that point it's like $20 ain't a hill of beans really.
So are you guys trickling the whole charge with that scale? Or you okay?
Yeah, the auto trickler 4 has a powder dump. Okay, or excuse me, it has a trickle. It has a trickle, but it's got 2 of them. Okay, so it's got one coarse and a fine.
Okay.
Chris can
give me a second. I'm unplugging it from the scale.
Yeah,
so I can kind of hold that up. Let's see if I'll pull the cover off so you can kind of see that.
So
you got the large and the small right below it.
And the 2 things you look at for this is how fast it goes and how accurate it is. Okay, so you're looking at anywhere from 25 to well, I would say from the maximum of 25 seconds to a minimum of about 10 seconds to get a load. You can't hand do that in that time that accurately. And I would say with the 4, you're gonna run about 75 or 80% accuracy. You're gonna have a few overruns, but it's going to be, if you waste 17 seconds, let's say on an average 17 seconds on a load, and you have to throw one away, that isn't bad on say 50 loads. So your time and putting together your loads are a lot faster and a lot more accurate.
And Ray, that thing is a lot faster than I can actually dump the charge into the case.
Right.
I can't. That thing outpaces me.
You can't keep up with seating bullets as fast as it throws a charge. But when you get on something like running a 550 in loading, with it as throwing powder down a funnel into the case, and then going on the next one, seating a bullet and dropping powder again, you can't. That's the only way that's a real way to really increase your production. Oh, anyone know if there's a maximum rotational velocity for Nosler Armageddon bullets? I'm going to shoot my loads in my 1.7. I haven't run into any problem on their 22 calibers or their 6 millimeters on their Armageddon bullets. They hold together. Not sure about the 6.5s. And I don't know how long your barrel is on a 1-in-5 twist, but it shouldn't be a problem.
It says 6.5 inch barrel.
Oh, 6.5 inch barrel?
Yeah,
oh,
300
okay.
blackout, so 308.
Okay, 308. Yeah, I don't see a problem with the Armageddon bullets in with a 1-in-5 twist. I don't, you're not getting that much velocity.
Right.
You're not getting anywhere near, the 3,000 feet per second that you need to really start to make those bullets come apart. When they hit something, they'll come apart. They do that very well.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in that short of a 1 in 5 twist, even if you're doing a 1 in 3 twist, you're not gonna. It's not gonna have enough velocity to.
Yeah, you don't have the velocity to put it together. What are you talking? If you're gonna be even because they are light bullets, you're gonna 1,500 feet per second, 1,600 feet per second.
Yeah.
And the difference between 1 in 5 and 1 in 7, that isn't going to be a problem.
So. Well, the good news, I just loaded up the Rumble feed, and it's actually got video tonight, so that's a bonus.
Oh, good.
Last week it did not.
Well, there was just the two of us last week, so it's not a problem.
Yeah, they had audio but not video. So I'm starting to try and live stream on Rumble, and it used to be Utreon. I guess they rebranded it to Player with a U. So I don't know, they're Canadian or British, one of the two. So, but yeah, it was Utreon. Allegedly it's set up right, and allegedly it live streams, but I haven't been able to see it, and nobody's said anything on Utreon. I know it uploads after the fact, so, but it does live stream to Rumble every week. So,
all right, he's getting down one. He's getting 2150 feet per second with little gun. He hasn't tried in the 6.5 inch, but he's going to lose 50 feet per second. He's going to be at 2100 feet per second, roughly. 50 feet per second per inch.
Right.
If that's a rough guess. Have you run it through a chronograph? But you should not have any problem of getting the bullets to hold together. They're not moving that fast.
That's subsonic, ain't it? Pretty much.
No, that's over. That's
Mach 3.
Yeah, you got to be at 900 feet per second to be
okay.
Subsonic.
Oh yeah, it's Mach 2. Sorry.
Yeah,
a little over Mach 2.
So, yeah, I wouldn't worry about it at all, Knox Inspector.
All right. So, talking about our sponsors here. First one's Patriot Patch Company, patriotpatch.co. Got the patch of the month. So here's the current patch of the month. Yes, that's right. It's a bottle rocket launcher with a M16 style or AR-15 style stock and hand and pistol grip. Looks like a pump shotgun style base. You got a little optic on there. So, and then you got some more bottle rockets and some M80s in the sling. So they also make cool stuff like this. So this has been on a patch. This is a vinyl sticker. It's also on a wall hanging piece of I don't know if it's tin or if it's sheet metal, but they're pretty cool. They make all sorts of sweet stuff. Check them out. Patriotpatch.co. Yeah, we're getting our turn with the Canadian wildfire smoke, so hence the coughing tonight. Thanks, kids. Dang Canadians. So it's not their fault. Allegedly, it's lightning or something, but it's been burning for quite some time. I'm surprised that they are still having such an issue with it. But
they haven't had any rain up there.
yeah, but I mean, still they've firefighting, and I'm surprised they haven't even been able to slow it down. So, but I don't know. But other sponsor of the show is forpatriots.com. They have all sorts of stuff, whether you want to be just a little prepared, like your grandparents and your parents were, or if you want to be gung-ho prepper like Glenn Tate out of 299 Days, or Phil's character in American Insurgent. They've got stuff for you. They've got their new generators, which are solar powered. They work very well. They'll even power your fridge. So they've got a bunch of other options too. A bunch of food, just all sorts of different options. It's good stuff. I've enjoyed it. So, in fact, I'm going to order some more just to have some extra stuff on hand. They've got pick your own, or they've got prepackaged little kits that you can get. So they've got all sorts of cool stuff. Swing over, check them out. That's forpatriots.com. So first order, if you use FRN, you get 10% off. So first order only. So excuse me. Knox Spector said, yes, the primary use for this is heavy subsonics like Horde and Ace, but I don't want the 110 grain coming apart in my suppressor. That would be a frown.
I don't see 110 spire point coming apart in your gun.
No,
I just don't see it.
I guess if that's a concern, if you're seriously concerned and you're seriously worried, take the can off and shoot targets at 2 feet
or 10 feet or whatever,
Well, if he's worried about it coming apart in the suppressor,
yeah,
2 feet's going to tell him if the bullet came apart. So,
yeah.
Ken Brown wants to know, is Alpha Munitions, I'm guessing munitions and he just can't spell, good brass? I haven't personally used any. I've heard good things about it. We're actually going to have them on the show. So
good
Same
brass.
here. I've heard good things. I just haven't personally used it.
Yeah, because I'm poor right now. I can't buy any brass. So
good brass. From everything that I've read about online, I haven't used it because every time I want to buy something from them, they're out.
Yeah, well, I guess that's a good sign. Hey, Paul, guess what else they carry?
What?
Reamers.
Oh, there we go.
Reamers.
That's the Alpha's the one that's in the orange boxes, right?
I don't know.
I think.
I don't think it hurts. Hey, they got 260 Remington in stock right now. 22 GT, 2.5 Creedmoor. 6.5 Creedmoor. They've got some.
2.5 Creedmoor sounds like an interesting cartridge, guys.
25 Creedmoor. That could be fun.
Yeah.
I know on the 25 Creedmoor, who is it? Wolf Precision's been touting that for a few years now. I guess that's becoming a pretty go-to varmint type cartridge over on the East Coast.
Well, it's like a slowed down 25-06, without losing a whole lot of velocity.
They also have Micron Precision Series neck sizing bushings and a sizer die. So,
okay.
But what's uncategorized? So, they got excuse me. They have a Alpha inflatable shooting bag. This I got to check out. Well, they're out of stock on it right now, but it looks like a May West.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. It looks more like a flight.
Yeah, it looks more like a flight one than an actual May West. But May West was the one that came to mind.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
That's just literally all it is. It's an airline. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, they will be coming on the podcast. I'm talking to the owner and we're just trying to figure out a time. He's busy for a couple of weeks and I'm going to be off for, fair in July for that week. So I don't know if I'm going to be out of there. Or here or not. So
yeah,
but yeah, everything I've heard is pretty good. So Ken, I think you should buy some and test it. That's what you should do. And then get back to us. And we'll have you on the podcast to talk about it. So anyway.
Real quick, next week. We gonna be on or not? It's 4th of July.
No. We will not have a podcast next week. So no podcast for next week. But we should get the last 2 posted. Chris has edited up through 453, and I don't remember if I posted 453 yet or not. So,
well, Ken, you just got to go out and buy a gun so it fits. What they got.
Ken, you can buy the 6.5 for me then, and I'll test it for you. I just got to get dies first. Yeah, that was the thing. I sold my really nice set of Reddings to Sharenda since she got that big fancy toy. So he didn't say you were as rich as he is.
I just said you should go out and buy it. I mean, what the heck?
All right, you got that 6.5 284. You can rebarrel. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, So.
Well, let's be honest. Paul's just spending his kid's inheritance. So.
That's right.
So, but yeah, when Alpha Munitions is able to make it on, I will post in advance. I'm still working on getting a hold of Cutting Edge so we can get that done too. Since we couldn't get that done live, that's going to be one I'm going to take a day off and record. So he's pretty busy right now too, so I'm waiting to hear back from him and see, since we had technical issues. So he says his barrel looks to be 4 to 6 months out once he makes his choice. Well, yeah. So in the meantime, you should get the dice from me and shoot 6.5 284.
We can't.
That's right. That's right. I forgot. It's kind of missing some threats, or it's kind of missing some rifling.
Yeah.
So never mind. Carry on. Oops. Anybody got any shout outs?
Nope.
Nope.
Excuse me. So I personally want to shout out to John Patton and the Gun Collective and Brownells and MGS Trade School and Samson and Henry and Blackout Coffee Company and Bowers Group, Neomag, Heckler and Koch, Kinetic Development Group, Remington, Matador Arms, Timoney Triggers, of N2, Frankfurt Arsenal, Stag Arms, MTAC, Yankee Hill Machine, Siege suppressors, POF USA, AAC suppressors, Canik, Dillon, Gideon Optics, Lockdown, Medical Gear Outfitters, Creative Arms, Streamlight, High Point Firearms, LMT Defense, Radian, Stuffin' Things, Unaka Gear Company, Vertex, Tandem Cross, RSX, Volquartsen, Otis, Oracle Arms, Infraray, and crikey. Who is it that imports Canics?
Century Arms.
Century Arms, because they were there as well. Not just with Canics, they had some AKs for demonstration. I would like to thank all of them and all of the people behind the scenes that put all the effort into putting on GunCon 2023. My expectations were blown away, and I went to the first one. So I didn't go to range day on the first one because I didn't know there was a range day, but I made sure I got to this one. Just way above and beyond. Way above and beyond expectations. Everything was amazing. Just the fact that they were able to get everything together and get all these companies involved, and all these companies just stepped up and were very nice, very helpful, very informative. And they came out to really just meet with people. So the reps for the companies had no problem sitting there talking for 10, 15, 20 minutes to one person, answering question after question after question. If you've ever been into NRA or when you're at SHOT Show, for those of us who've been blessed enough to go, nobody does that. It's you get one question and then they're on to the next person. So just everybody involved, just above and beyond. It was an awesome thing. Check it out and make sure you can, if you can, try and go in for next year when they announce it. I'll keep everybody posted when they start to announce. So, but that's my shout out. And on that note, keep your brass shiny.
Jump on the mill short bus.
Teach them shoot and reload when they're young.
Shoot smarter, not harder.
Grandpa told me not to listen to my mama. He goes, violence does solve problems.
There's two other groups I failed to mention. There was a mom and pop trigger company. It was there. They're not listed. I don't remember the name of them, but they had this really nice trigger they made for the 1022. A really nice whole entire trigger group, and very nice, impressive. I wish I could remember their name, but I don't. But the other thing was there was an Iowa Firearms Owners Group, and then GOA was there. And GOA was also one of the sponsors, but they're not listed on that list. So GOA has really stepped up their game in with the NRA being destroyed by Wayne LaPierre and his cronies. They've kind of really stepped up their game. But I personally have not started supporting them yet. I'm still supporting Second Amendment Foundation and then my local state group. But you make your own choices. But get out there and support. Call your Congress critters. We knew that there was no chance in God's green earth that HR 44 was going to not only pass the Senate and then get signed. We knew it was dead once it got to Biden anyway. But it's kind of annoying that it didn't pass the Senate. So elections have consequences, gang. We need to make sure that we're paying attention to what's going on. Hold your Congress critters accountable. Hold your local representatives accountable, because a lot of those locals eventually try and become Congress critters. And if they know from the jump that they're going to be held accountable by the people of their areas, it makes a difference. So prime example is Russ Feingold. When he started out in Congress, he was being held accountable by the people in his district. As you watched, the longer he was there, the less they cared and the less they bothered him, and the more he changed. So That's just kind of one from our state. Everybody's got their own, but support the Second Amendment. Make sure you're supporting organizations that support the Second Amendment. But most importantly, do your part. The biggest thing you can do is call or email or snail mail a letter. So let them know that you're paying attention to what they're doing and you do care, and get as many people as you know to do it. So more importantly than that, though, if you're struggling with June is men's mental health awareness month. Obviously, nobody's really heard squat about it because, frankly, the general population doesn't really think that we should have problems as men. They don't really give a shit, which is sad. They care about all sorts of other things, but men's mental health, no, they don't.
So they just want to change you.
Yeah. But if you're struggling, 988 or 1-800-273-8255, reach out, get some help. It's important. It's needed. It's there if you need it. So Ken said I can shoot it, but not sure how accurate it is. You're probably going to have some issues because you're not going to be consistent with your launch point, and you're possibly, depending on how it's slamming into the rifling, could be nicking up your bullet. So,
well, he's got a lot of free bore. That's all.
Oh, okay.
It's just like a Weatherby. It's got.
So just seat the bullet out farther is what you're saying.
Seat the bullet out. He's got 2 or 3 inches, but just seat the bullet out and just count it as free bore.
Use a McDonald's soda straw. That would work.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
yeah.
All right, gang. On that note, good night.
Good night, everyone.